Hello everyone, thought I'd do a quick overview for Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. Now, I'll leave a disclaimer. I am playing this on emulator. I did get a legal copy of the game, but before I start, I should say that this game is actually really solid. It definitely is a Hades clone by pretty much every definition you can think of. But the things that differentiate it is that you play a character instead of a weapon, and also they have local and couch co-op. Now, I think the couch co-op is more impressive, personally, because it's very hard to find games you can actually play locally, you know, at an event or inviting friends over with your kids or something that doesn't require online play and everybody having a device. So that's actually pretty awesome. However, there's two things that really bog this game down. The first is the performance. The game tries to run at 60 FPS, but pretty much never runs like that consistently, so I can't imagine what it's like playing online or co-op with 4 players. Also, the game is quite buggy. From what I understand, I did not play the Apple Arcade version, but I guess a lot of the bugs that are in this have been in that version for like over a year. And apparently the game is doing pretty well, so I'm going to assume that they're going to get the funds and the green light to like maybe add more content and hopefully fix the bugs. But there's a lot of bugs and performance issues right now, so if you have, you know, a PC or a portable PC, I would definitely recommend waiting for that version, because they already put out a hotfix earlier this week that I guess fixed a number of things, but not enough to make people happy. I've had the game crash on me numerous times. There's a glitch involving one of the challenge portals, which I'll get into when I actually get into gameplay, that completely like bricks your run because you can't choose upgrades anymore. There's a lot of really annoying and pretty fatal bugs, so I would recommend waiting personally. If you're impatient, I guess you can get it now, but you're just going to have to realize that you're at a disadvantage, and it's going to take a lot of patience to play this game.
Home sweet home.
I was kind of already a little bit apprehensive when they said the game was going to run at 60 FPS, but then also started advertising like 4-player local and online co-op, and I can vouch for it. I played the game for several hours on Switch before I dumped my legal copy and just started playing it on PC. I could definitely say waiting for the PC version is going to be good for a number of reasons, because they're pushing out a number of hotfixes. They've also apparently teased like some new content as well, because from what I understand, this is basically the Apple Arcade version with you know, added couch co-op, and then, you know, it just runs on Switch. So other than that, it's basically identical. So I guess when the PC version comes out, which is supposed to be the final quarter of this year, which means in the next 4.5 months, I guess that's when they'll add new stuff. So I would recommend waiting for that. In any case, we're going to talk about the differentiating factors of Hades, because if you've played Hades before, I actually don't really like Hades that much. I think that game is good, but a tad bit overrated, and it's kind of strange how it's like the new template for roguelikes. But this game does a number of things that are pretty different. The first is that this is a cooldown, not a cooldown-based game, but a meter-based game, meaning that when you use your special like this, it takes 1 charge. Now, Leonardo has 2 charges, but when you get into his inspiration, you can give that upgrade to another character. When you attack, see in the upper left-hand corner, I'm getting it back. Also, you have a tool, which is like your ninja item, basically a unique item for every character, but you can also get these items on other characters as well, so you can completely change their playstyle, even though the moveset is about the same as Hades, meaning that it's pretty small. The tool system really allows you to have a lot of flexibility. So his is just a simple ninja shuriken. You've seen it 1,000 times before. And that also runs off your normal attack too. So one thing about cooldown-based games, especially roguelikes where there's permadeath and you have to be a lot more careful than something where you can just keep reviving, is that it tends to make the game revolve around running around in circles waiting for cooldowns to be off, but this kind of ensures that there's really offensive gameplay. You have to really be aggressive and try to get your normal attacks in as much as possible, because that's how you're going to charge your specials and stuff, and a decent chunk of your build is going to build off your specials and your tools as well, because you want to proc statuses and other buffs that you can get for using your specials and tools. Also, you have more than one dash. This is probably like a 75 to 80% maxed file, so I have 4 dashes. At the beginning you'll start with 1, but you can get up to 3, probably like an hour or 2 of playing, and that's going to make it feel a lot better than Hades 2. One of the things people don't like about Hades 2 is that you only have 1 dash and has a really long recovery. So it's got about a 1 second cooldown when you exhaust all your dashes. So you have a lot of flexibility with how you move and how you move around. Also, the game is very responsive as well. Like if I do the raw special here, that's as long as I can go while executing the special, you know, until I'm able to move again. But I can also do stuff like this. You hear me executing the special, but I'm able to cancel out of it at like frame 1. So combat feels really good and fair for the most part. There are some things that are really annoying about this game's boss design, but for the most part, skill actually matters quite a bit. Okay, so you have 3 main forms of meta progression in this game. You have your dragon coins, which are mostly stat boosts. So you can see here, I've got 3 dash charges. When you defeat a Foot Clan, I don't know if they're robots or humans in this game. I remember when the first Turtle series aired, they made them robots so that they could have a body count and still have it be a kid show. You get like a bonus to spawning healing whenever you defeat a Foot Clan enemy, and then you get 100% more effective healing. So that can really keep you alive on harder challenges. You get extra health, movement speed, revives. This is all pretty standard stuff. I think what really sets this game apart is stuff like this. These are inspirations. These are basically the unique passives that each turtle has, and you can actually upgrade them, and then you can also get them on other turtles. So, for instance, Leonardo has a +2 special charge, so you can actually get that on another character throughout a run. So upgrading these is actually pretty nice. As you can see, this is Confidence. Gives you 3% special damage every time you no damage a room, so that adds up quite a bit. At the beginning of a run, you can pretty much get a pretty easy 15 to 20% special damage. This is meter gain for Donatello on his tool, so you can get that on other characters, and you get these through a number of currencies. You get Dreamer coins, which I'll get into shortly. You get pauldrons and stuff. These are from defeating Karai. These are from defeating Shredder. These are for completing Shimmering Portal challenges, which we'll get into shortly. These are from Gauntlet medallions, which are from completing the Gauntlet challenges, which are basically hard mode, like mini bosses and main bosses. And then Astral Wraps and Talismans are from both beating the game and defeating Karai, respectively, with specific turtles. So, on average, if you do a bunch of Shimmering Portals to get your challenge portals, or whatever they're called, challenge, I guess you can just call them challenges, you'll get a flat multiplier, like a 10% multiplier for each one that you get, and they actually also stack. So you can stack like probably like 10 of them, and you can get basically double. So at this point in the game, to upgrade stuff that like really matters, you're basically going to be able to upgrade like maybe 1 to 3 things per run. So it's definitely pretty grindy, but for the most part, you don't really need it that much. The Dreamer coins are basically increasing RNG. So like, as you can see here, you can start with 3 rerolls. Bosses can give rerolls, which is actually like really huge. You can get double select. Double select is when you get the equivalent to a Hades boon. You can actually choose from that twice, which is actually pretty big. These are basically just things like earning more of stuff just from playing the game, which is really nice. Yeah, that's mostly what it is, just getting more of what you're already doing. And then finally you have artifacts. If you played Hades, these are equivalent to keepsakes, meaning that you can take them on and off. Just like Hades, you can also put them on whenever you want, provided that you're in a shop. So you can change them as you see fit. So generally, when you start a run, you want to start with one that gives you, you know, the first power category that you want. So like for Leonardo Ninja is pretty good, so we're just going to go ahead and put that on right now. And then when you get into the game, you get a chance for a double select, and it'll also be guaranteed to be the first one. And then for bosses, you generally want to choose the Heart of Tengu, because it gives you dodge chance and then more iframes on your dash, so it's really good for bossing. These take Dreamer coins to upgrade, and these are probably going to be the biggest gold sink, just because they cost so much, and the improvements are pretty minor, just from 1 to 1. So this will take a while, but definitely recommend just maxing your regular Dreamer coin upgrades first. All right, so let's get into the game.
Nothing comes easy. On our way, Father.
Okay, so this is your selection menu here. If you played Hades, it's going to look very familiar. So generally you want to go for a Shuriken build if you're starting with Ninja. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one.
To become a better ninja,
I offer you a portal of power.
So the first portal of power that will spawn is always going to be one that's just a raw stat boost, but there are other ones as well, like ones that make it so all the Mousers explode. The Foot Clan does more damage. There's ones that make the enemies attack faster. There's ones that make healing cut in half. Lots of ways that you can actually make the game harder, and you can keep stacking them. But as you can see here, if you decline a portal, it will stop more from appearing this run. However, there's one called the Portal of Scarcity, which makes it so you can only choose one thing from an upgrade. 1 or 2 things from an upgrade. Actually, I think it's 2 things. And that has a major bug where it will just decide to not let you upgrade anything anymore. So if you get that one, I recommend just not taking it, regardless of how much ego and confidence you have in your run. It's not worth taking that because of the bug. A lot of people have been complaining about it, and it has not been fixed yet. So make use of that information as you will.
someone's losing money.
May you grow ever stronger.
So rerolls work like pretty much any roguelike. Like for instance, this is a standard choice that you'll get, but if you reroll like this, you can get a completely different lineup of stuff. So generally I like to use my dice at the beginning just to kind of get my build going.
One less rat in New York City.
That'll do something for you guys.
To help. Thanks, April.
Alright, we'll re-roll here.
I offer you a portal.
So here's the one I was talking about. So basically these will keep spawning until you reject one, and then they'll stop. So when you refuse to take a portal, what that essentially means is that you're not going to get any more challenges. You will still get gauntlet challenges for mini-bosses and actual bosses, but other than that, the challenges will stop at that point. So it really comes down to how much you want to stack, and the order that they appear in is going to be random. So I think that kind of sets it apart from Hades, rather than like stacking a bunch of annoying stuff and being required to do it to progress. You're at your own discretion at how much more challenging you want to make the run. And then also, it's different every time, so there can be a lot of strategy into when you stop. Okay, so here's a gauntlet challenge for mid-boss.
The only one giving lessons here is me. You fall just like the rest. We did it!
You remain victorious.
Okay, so here's an inspiration. So this is what I was talking about earlier, how you can get the unique passives from other turtles on the turtle you're currently playing. Like this I maxed out, so you're getting a really big bonus on your meter gain.
I offer you a portal of rejection.
I guess. More rats. This is what we train for.
See ya! And so you grow stronger.
Hits the spot.
I offer you a portal of hoppers.
I actually really like the challenge system in this compared to Hades, just because it's more dynamic and less annoying for the most part. If you stack all of them and you don't have a lot of persistent meta progression upgrades, the game is actually pretty difficult, but you know, you're never forced to do it to progress, so it feels a lot better. Hades, to me, a lot of the heat effects were like not very fun. And I kind of just found myself like stacking the ones that were made the game like the least unfun to play. But that's just me. I didn't really play Hades a lot in particular.
Improvement. Nice. Let's put this scrap to good use.
This is kind of more interesting too because it's actually different every run instead of you just running with you know, a fixed build that you enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and change to the dice to try to get double select on anything else I can find here. I've got an ooze upgrade. Take the ooze stack.
A challenge, should you accept it.
Now, the thing about this game that a lot of people are complaining about is the fact that the first two Gauntlet Challenge hard mode bosses are like difficult in a not fun way. One of the ways that they try to make this game difficult is by putting a bunch of crap on the ground, which I don't really like in any kind of melee action game because it always slows things down to a crawl, and you have to stand around and wait. But I think what makes it worse in this game is that the way that you do your powerful moves and stuff is by normal attacking, which means you have to stay aggressive the entire time. You can't just run around and wait. You know how in like a Musou game when you're on red health, you run around in a circle until your Musou comes back. This game does a good job of preventing that and keeping the pacing smooth and fast. But when you put junk on the ground and summon ads constantly, it kind of like makes the game not fun. I think what's interesting is the second half of the game. The Gauntlet mode challenge hard mode bosses are like actually easier than the first half, and a lot of that is because of how they're designed and also the fact that you don't really have a build yet. So eventually you'll have to do all of the Gauntlet challenges in one run to fully 100% the game, but due to how the game is right now, I would recommend putting the game on easy and then just wait until you have a lot of meta progression. So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to do a normal mode one.
Once more, Leather.
No damage clear. Might be a tad bit overpowered.
Sorry, old fella.
Alright, so that's basically the entire gameplay loop. Nothing really changes if you go back to town or anything. There's not really a like clear bonus for this game, so whether you end the run early or you could get all the way to the end, you're basically just going to get more money and currency from simply doing the challenges and stuff. You don't actually get like a multiplier at the end, so if you feel like you want to do some of the Gauntlet challenges to power up your character, but then like you're not really expecting the run to clear, the game actually does reward you for that, which is pretty cool. Overall, I like this game a lot more than Hades. I enjoyed Hades 1. Hades 2 I just couldn't really get into. I think this game is a good pick if you like Ninja Turtles for one, and also if you like the Hades formula, but you like a different take on it, which in my opinion, is better in a lot of ways. Having the meter system, the fact that you have multiple dashes, so it never feels like you can't clear an attack. Also, the way that the progression system works, and the fact that it does have different characters that you can play, and online and offline co-op, I think differentiates itself enough, but the elephant in the room is that it's very buggy, it runs very poorly on the Switch, and some of the bugs are very hard to ignore. I heard some people say that they have lost their save, which is obviously pretty extreme. I haven't actually encountered that myself, but apparently some people have, and also the game can crash. It can also essentially brick your run by making it so that you can't upgrade anything anymore. There's a lot of bugs, and it's very hard to ignore that the game is very buggy, despite offering a lot of things that Hades does not have. It simply does not have the programming stability. So for 30 bucks, I do think this game is, I wouldn't call it a ripoff, but it's a bit of a risk right now. I definitely think waiting for the PC version is going to be better for a number of reasons, because PC players will get all the hot fixes. You'll get supposedly new content. I don't know if that's happening or not, but apparently they're alluding and hinting to it in their Discord. And then you'll still have all the other features as well. And plus, with the advent of portable PCs, having to play it on the Switch is not really going to be much of a selling advantage anyway. So that's my opinion on it. I've played it about 20 hours. I really enjoy playing it for the most part, despite its shortcomings. The bugs are very annoying. Playing on real hardware, the frame rate definitely feels like your main enemy over the actual enemies a lot of the time. And, you know, the fact that it can crash and wipe your save file and just brick your run randomly, you know, if you pick the same things, it'll always do it, or it has a high chance of doing it. Kind of makes it not really the best purchasing decision right now, but in the event that it gets patches and updates and stuff, I'll definitely cover them, and when it comes out on PC, I'll definitely buy it again as well. Rather, I got a review key for this, but I'll definitely buy it on PC, and I'll give you guys a review of that port as well. Thanks for watching.